Okay, tell you a little bit about our adjudicators. Of course, our special guest being making her way on stage is Dr. Emily Trinan. She's Associate Professor of Music and currently serves as Director of Bands at the University of Minnesota School of Music in Minneapolis, St. Paul in the United States. Position she conducts the acclaimed wind ensemble, guides the graduate wind band conducting program, assists undergraduates conducting, provides administration and leadership for all aspects of the University of Minnesota bands. Our second adjudicator, Mr. Andrew Vangevet, is currently Assistant Director of Music at Eubank College. He's also currently the Music Director of the Manningham Concert Band, a position he's held for the past 22 years. And recently, Andrew was awarded a lifetime membership of the vote of Victoria. So we thank our two adjudicators for making their presence here and making comments that every school will take back on their USB drive, as well as a copy of the stream and also a copy of the conducting tutorial as well. Our next group in our intermediate section comes from Aquinas College. It's the senior concert band, comprised of students of years 8 through to year 12, and is the most senior of the school's wind ensemble. The band features many school events and enjoys a busy performance schedule. Most of the band is working hard towards a common goal, the social aspect of being part of a musical ensemble. Three works today are Encanto by Robert W. Smith, Ballad, the second movie from the West Highland Sojourn by Robert Sheldon, and finishing off with Eric Morales' Haywire. So please welcome to the stage Aquinas College conductor Mr. Craig Bentley.
congratulations, everyone. It's really, really good music making. A lot of cool things are happening on stage, so congrats. As I said to the other ensembles, I just have a few comments on each piece, some things to consider that are specific to this piece, and I think some other concepts that I hope that you can apply to other pieces of music that have similar challenges. Getting feedback here, sorry about that. So let's start with Haywire. What's happening? Okay. So congratulations. Here are things I really appreciated about what you were doing. In those longer lines, don, don, dee, da, don, dee, da, da, da. Those cool, like, sort of film scoring melodic lines. You're adding shape to that, which is not like directly written in the music, but you're using your musical instincts to show shape and line, and that's awesome. It's very easy to play those kinds of things, a bit static, and it doesn't feel like it's got any direction. So way to go. I just wanted to congratulate you on that. Solos. Who was playing alto sax solo? Nice job. Way to go. Clarinet solo? Yeah, way to go. The solos were great. Good for you guys. The other thing I appreciated is when the solos were playing, the accompaniment got out of the way. That was great. That's always hard to do too. And I think you all know this, in any piece of music you want to protect your soloists. So those of you that were playing the long notes against that, congratulations, thank you for that. Look at measure 109, square 109. Excuse me, bar 109, right? Is anyone playing, we've got horn, is it just one horn player and sax? Yeah, you know that, there's a lot going on in this texture, right, in the melody, that the trumpets get that, and the brass get that, and then that's your time to shine with that counter melody. I could barely hear that. So at 109, if you do this piece again, bring that out throughout. Snare drum, who was playing that part? You sound great. Are you on a different instrument than what you're used to?
Only a kid.
Okay, so snare drum in general, this is just always the case. Snare drum in general is usually loud. It's usually a little bit on the loud side. And you sound great, your timing, everything was brilliant. But just realize that it's you, and we can't tell you haven't been in the hall, your teacher didn't go out and hear it, whatever. But just know in general, snare drum, kind of universally. And like you are often given, I hate when composers do this, right? We give you like fortissimo on snare drum, which is like an oxymoron, right? Why do they do that? It's not your fault. You're playing what's written. Just know that the snare as an instrument is generally very loud, so you can always err on the softer side. And when you have those those kind of cool passages, you get that started, and then you get like one little line above it, and then another line comes in. Just as percussionists, one of your jobs now and in the future is to be aware of what's going on in front of you and to just subtly adjust as it's happening. So if you know, like, okay, only the trumpets are playing right now, you probably don't need to play it quite so loud, right? If it's a big solo, go for it. But if other members start coming in, even if you don't know the score, you can just use your ears and be like, okay, the whole band's not playing, I don't have to be forte, even if the composer says that. So just be aware that the snare sometimes is a bit on the hot side, and that's not your fault. You're playing exactly what's written. You just have to make those little micro adjustments as a good musician. Okay, awesome. Woodwind intonation measure 7. Can we try that a little bit? Woodwinds. I felt between the sections, woodwinds and brass, I think woodwinds have greater opportunity to refine your intonation. You know what I mean by that? That's a polite way of saying it's something you guys can work on a little bit more, okay? All right, so woodwinds, when you're thinking about tuning, here's what I think the problem is for woodwinds, a little bit different than brass. Those of you that have reeds in your instrument, I think when it's soft, you bite the reed, and you squeeze on it, and that doesn't allow the air to go through the instrument. And when we bite the reed and squeeze on it, we get really sharp. We get sharp and squeaky, okay? I'm a reed player, I can say that. So I think when you see piano, we do this, we tense up, and we tend to bite down, and that causes all kinds of problems, especially for our low instruments. So I want to start at measure 5, all woodwinds only, brass, you don't have to play your fortissimo. Measure 5, and I want all the woodwinds to play mezzo forte piano, just for now, okay? I know it says, mezzo forte. I know it says piano, ignore that. So just a healthy, full sound, okay? And see if our pitch can just improve a little bit. Here's square 5. All woodwinds, full sound, mezzo forte. 3 and 4. That's the clarinet. Yeah, great. Clarinets, thank you. Clarinets, can I hear your mezzo forte? 4 of you, mezzo forte. Maybe that sounds like mezzo forte. Put some air behind the horn, guys. And Yeah, and so, yeah, so there's 5. So you've got 4 of you and 5 of you. You guys have got to play louder, otherwise these guys are going to overwhelm you, okay? So you've got to play louder, especially the seconds and thirds. Play, play, play out, okay? All right, mezzo forte again. Let's say for the sake of arguments, flutes, you guys get mezzo piano, okay? You guys forte, you guys forte. Here it is, one more time. 5, air, air and blow. Getting better. Sax is when you tongue. Try not to go fa, fa, fa. Anytime we're tonguing, especially if we have a reed instrument, the air column has got to stay the same, and the tongue is simply interrupting it. You're not stopping it. If you tongue too hard, you go fa, 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 and that's when you start getting that bubby sound. But the air stream, you're just interrupting it a little bit with the tip of the tongue. So please don't clip the reed or slam it too hard. Okay, great. Now let's start at 5 and play the dynamic that's written. You guys just play louder, not tons, but a little bit, okay? And then flutes a little bit less, and see if we can't have pitch be a little more unified. When we are working on intonation, should we listen to the upper voices or the lower voices? What do you think? Lower. Always listen down to the lower voices. The firsts and the top voices, one of the ways you can listen better down is to play softer, right? You can't hear if you're playing so darn loud, all you hear is the sound, right? So bottom folks, you're so critical to intonation. It's like you are the foundation, all right? Don't let the upper people do it, right? You got to do that. Okay, so play it as many please at 5, better intonation. 1 and 2 and air support. support that sound. Otherwise, these guys are like, they don't have anything to play on top of, and the pitch starts getting a little bit rough because they don't have that foundation. So just be aware of that throughout all of that. Okay, great. Let's move on, please, to the Bradford. Is that right? Bradford. Oh, I've got it. No, it's okay. Cool. I've got it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Not much to say with us chasing this intonation rabbit here, if we would. Can we just do the very last chord? Very last chord, woodwinds. It's an E flat major chord. So another thing, and I know you don't have tons of rehearsal time, probably once a week, right? I'm not sure how, yeah. So one of the things that, without getting the weeds here, when pitch matters when there are very few pitch matters, but the moments where you can really put energy is when there are transitions and you're sustaining some kind of a note, like ba, then right? There's a change. Those moments are when we have to really think of pitch, and then the last notes of any kind of piece of music. This ends in E flat major. E flat major, or E flat concert, root is E flat, third is G, fifth is B flat. I always tune starting on the root, making sure E flats feel safe and good, then the B flat, then the G. So can we try that please on this last chord? We're going to start, anyone that has an E flat concert first. Is anyone playing that? Yeah, the last chord, E flat, please. Good. And then the B flat, breathe when you need to, okay? B flat on top of that, the last chord, fifth. Who's got that? Yeah. Play it. Match. It's a bit sharp. And then the G. Great. Thank you. Let's do the root and the fifth, the E flat and B flat. And play comfortably, guys. Get some air behind it. And then flutes, you're going to sing the third. Okay, so this is everyone on the end of the piece. Let's hear the E flats and B flats only. Sing it, please. Oh. too much into the weeds. Splints, it's easy for those pitches to sag, so just be aware of that. Okay, great. So that's some tuning stuff. Awesome. 117, I wrote more foundation. Well, the thicker the texture, the thicker the music, and the more 108, same thing. We just need more from the bottom, always. That's just like, life. We just need more from the bottom, more from the foundation. So when you play the piece of music, it starts very like light and fluffy with rhythms, blah, blah, blah. Then we get like the big, dense chorale moment. The bass line, tubas, trombones, bass clarinet, low saxophones. You guys have got to be way louder than everyone else. Otherwise, it just feels treble heavy, right? If you go into your car and you're driving on a long road trip, do you turn up the bass or do you turn up the treble? Who turns up the bass when they want to hear like, rock music or whatever, dance music? Who turns up the treble? Okay. No. Who does anything? Nothing? No one does anything? Generally speaking, we jack up the bass, okay? So the bass part is just really essential. You're the foundation. We start at 108, and I want bass voices to play very full, very, very strong. Treble voices, you only play about a mezzo forte. And what I'm going after is just a warmer quality of sound, richer sonorities, all right? More bass, 108. 1 and 2 and bass. 1, 2. Tuba, right at 117. And I know it says mezzo forte, give me double forte. Just want to hear how loud you can play with good tone. 1 and 2, double forte. Sustain, sustain, sustain. Do you need to breathe every bar? No, you are. You're going da, 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 da. No, take a bigger breath and sustain through it. So that's part of what we're not hearing, is we're not hearing that sustained and consistent flow, okay? We don't need to rehearse that, but you just have to take in more air, put more air through the sound. And once you guys are unified, you have a beautiful sound once you put air behind it. Then these guys can kind of float on top, and then that's going to make these moments just be like whoosh of awesome, okay? So we just need more of that. All right, first piece, please, the Encanto. Not sure where this is at. Okay. Lots of great things. Transitions, because I know I'm getting to it. Transitions. There are many times to look up at your director. The beginning of pieces of music, maybe dynamic changes, right? I mean, who wants to look at the whole time, obviously, right? But the moments you really have to look up, no matter what, are transitions. In all the transitions, 101, 115, anytime there was something that changed, anytime there was like a pickup to a downbeat, or like there was a fermata and something happened, someone always came in early. I don't know if you noticed that. Someone always just jumped the gun, came in early, and that just tells you you're not watching, and that you're not like aware. Oh yeah, I gotta wait for it. So what I was doing in my music is I had little eyeglasses. Draw and I just say, look up, and make sure that you're watching. It's not like a crisis if you come in early, obviously, but it happened more than once. So that told me that you guys were just not in the habit of doing that. So do make sure you watch your teacher, all right? Because he's working really hard and he's doing great work. And so the more you watch, the more that we're going to align. Just a couple of other things, just in general. I think you guys are, I thought you played really, really well. Lots of cool stuff. I think you can go after more contrast. Like percussion, you'll get like, right, those little diminuendos, exaggerate the diminuendos. Always play way softer than you think you should, especially when it says to do so. And I think just in general, accents could pop out a little bit more, things could just feel a bit more Hollywood. And then that's going to make the piece just have a bit more flair, okay? Really great performance, everyone. Your teacher's doing really awesome work. You're going to watch him better, right? Especially at transitions, you're going to put your eyes up. I would say to my students, look up with my beautiful eyes so I can see your beautiful eyes. Okay? A really great performance. And thanks so much for being here, everyone. We hope you have a great day.